Booyah! We are live. Hi guys, Thunder E here, and with me is where's my lower third? I should put it up. Is Mr. Lou Rod. How's it going, Lou?
I'm doing good. I'm doing good. Let's talk some trailers, movie news,
All
and the
right.
only episode of last week, Supergirl.
Yeah, Supergirl. Well, welcome to episode 1 of season 2. I know season 1 was pretty short.
Well, we started late.
Yeah, we started late. We started real late, but we might as well start it off. Episode 1 of season 2 of Comic Crunch. Welcome, guys. Appreciate everyone joining. Let me just go ahead and set this to the side. Make sure I can go ahead and see people's comments when people chime in on what do you call that thing again? YouTube.
YouTube chat.
Yeah, YouTube chat. Yeah. So yeah. How was your New Year's, man?
Relaxing. Watch Concussion. Very good movie.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. You know what? We need to talk about some of those Oscar nominations because I feel Will Smith should be nominated for Concussion, man.
I can't. I don't care about the Oscars, but he did give a really good performance. I honestly, I like football, but after watching this movie, it kind of changed my perspective on football.
Yeah, yeah, it did. You know, the funny thing though is, I saw an interview with Will Smith and the doctor, and you know, when you see, I guess if you see the interview, you know how his mannerisms was so on point to the doctor. It was scary because at first, you know, you watch the trailer like it's Will Smith. And then when you start watching the movie, in like 10, 15 minutes, you've forgotten it's Will Smith completely. I mean, he does such a good job because the doctor, you know, the soft mannerisms the doctor has and the way he slowly talks. It's the same way. When I saw an interview of the real doctor, I was like, wow, okay, all right. That
No, I
was
mean,
that was spot
it,
on.
it it was an excellent movie, and it was one of those where I was like, I didn't care to watch it, but then my wife the night before watched it, so I was like, and she was like, you need to watch this movie. It's really good. I'm like, okay, I'll give it a shot. So Saturday morning, after I watched the weekly, I watched Concussion.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. No, I mean, I watched it. I watched it, and yeah, I'm a big football fan. I mean, my Patriots are playing tomorrow, and I was like, I felt bad for football players. I was like, man. I mean, I understand this is what you love, but the fact that the league just and this is recent. This is not like the '70s where I can understand. What pissed me off is like this is like 10 years ago, max.
Not even.
I said max. Let's call it. Let's just seven. It's like 7 years, pretty much.
That's why I was like, dude, I enjoy it, but since I'm a Jets fan and they're not in the playoffs, I don't care to watch.
Yeah, yeah. You all Jets fans celebrating before you actually get there.
We weren't celebrating before we got there.
Yeah, because the Jets beat the Patriots in week 16. You're like, yeah, we're gonna make the playoffs, and
Well,
then
we needed that win.
yeah, I know. And then what happened? Buffalo with Rex Ryan just threw it off. Anyway, guys,
Well,
before we
though,
start
what
getting into
happened
deep,
was Fitzpatrick.
yeah, before we get into deep football discussion, let's get back into Comic Crunch. So this week, it's a bunch of news, a couple of trailers. Well, one major movie clip hit, and one trailer came out of the cut. One was from Batman v Superman. There's a trailer for 10 Cloverfield Lane. And let's start off with some of the news first. So the first news is on Spider-Man. Let me see if I can share this. I'm actually taking this from Screen Rants. And no, I cannot share. So
The hoodie,
sorry. What do you say?
the hoodie sweater.
Yeah. So the two things. First thing, earlier this week, I think I saw it on Latino Review, stated that Spider-Man will be wearing a hoodie sweater, costume. And then this comments from from Screen Rant, which is still considered a rumor, gives better credence and makes sense. So this is according to Geek. This is the source. Peter started becoming Spider-Man because he grew up idolizing Tony Stark. Our source revealed. Since Iron Man takes place 10 years before Peter Parker meets him in Civil War, where Peter is 15. This means that Peter was 5 when Tony Stark came into the scene as the original Iron Man, likely dominating the news, and Peter Parker grew up into a teenager loving Tony Stark. So if the guy you admire and look up to suddenly shows up on your balcony with a sweet piece of tech and says, hey, let's be bros, are you going to turn him down? Which means he's going to give him his Civil War suit, basically the red and gold Spider-Man suit with the Spider-Man tentacles. Which, you know what? Then I can buy him having the hoodie at least for a little bit. What do you think?
I just want to see the movie.
Okay. I mean, I like that intro there. I like that. Okay, fine. The hoodie's because he's 15. He can't afford to make it, right? I get that part. And I like the fact that Tony Stark is his idol. So I like the connection there. It makes sense. It makes sense for everything to flow through. So that's on the Spider-Man front. This is not news. This is from Walking Dead. And Walking Dead creator says Negan is going to come in like an atomic bomb. Yes.
I mean, he's coming in for one episode to bash someone's brains in. That's all he's gonna do.
No, but he's talking about like Negan in general coming in to the show. So he says when it comes to the survivors and Negan in particular, the way I've always thought about this is that in the comics, this is a group that's led by a guy who has had his morality dialed back a few clicks away from where Rick is, towards the darker aspects of his personality, but is still intellectual and capable leader who kept his group against all odds, just as Rick did. When these two forces come head to head, things are going to get very interesting. It's a very different group that they've ever encountered. The survivors are a group that they've never really prepared for. So basically, they're saying that, yeah, which I like. It's about time we face another group in this world, whether you've read the comics or not. But you've got to know that the way it's been going, it's about time we faced a group where, some stakes are raised, not just some zombies, dumb zombies. Because to me, nobody should be dying from zombies by now. Nobody should be, unless you're dumb.
Negan's crew makes the governor's crew look like wimps.
All right, there we go.
So when we're only going to get a glimpse of Negan in the season finale, but mind you, when I say AMC will not allow the F-bombs, because Negan's famous for dropping an F-bomb every other sentence. So I want to see how they transition him on the small screen with the way he talks, because everything is sex, the baseball bat, stealing someone's woman, and excessive force when need to show it.
Okay. I mean, I think they can. I don't think it's hard. I think what it is the F-bombs there are going to be changed.
Just change up the.
They're going to be changed from like F-bombs to a lot of dams. Words that you can cut through in the PG-13 world. But it's the way he does it and how he does it is the difference.
That's what makes him so like. Because out of nowhere, I'm caught up. I'm on issue 150. So when you're reading and you're like, he drops some off the wall shit, you're like, oh crap. So
yeah, no, exactly.
That's what makes him interesting.
He's
going to be an interesting villain.
Yeah, definitely. All right, next up, Wonder Woman's mom has been cast. Queen Hippolyta, I always mispronounce it anytime I read the comic books. Anyway, has been cast, and the actress playing her is not who we thought it was. It is Connie Nelson. Now, Connie Nelson was the sister to, what's his name in Gladiator?
Joaquin Phoenix.
Joaquin Phoenix's sister in Gladiator. So, you know what? I think, to me, it's a good choice. But what that means is who does, I just forgot her name again.
Robin Wright.
Robin Wright, thank you. Who does Robin Wright play? Who does she play?
Only time will tell.
That's true. That is very true.
Just released probably 20 minutes before starting the Batman vs Superman track list.
Oh, they did? Oh.
Yes.
Ooh. Where's the track list?
I saw it on Heroic Hollywood's Instagram page.
I am in love with Junkie XL. So Junkie XL did the soundtrack I told you for Mad Max, and you said you haven't seen, but his sound, he does a fantastic job. And watching that last clip, that movie clip, you could hear a little bit of that track at the very end, but which we should talk about actually since we now. So what did you think of the Batman?
I've been loving
Superman
everything that Batman and Superman have been doing. I've enjoyed. This latest clip was I was like, yeah. Is it March yet?
I know, man. I know. It's one of those where I man, that clip really got me all pumped. I mean, like, I remember I'm in CES and then you send me the TV spot one. I can't remember what press conference I was running to or what meeting, and you go, you should enjoy this. And I'm walking in CES and there's so much noise. I'm like, because I didn't have my headphones with me. I was like, "Are you serious?" But I mean, this
Okay.
clip. What I liked about this clip is, so a lot of people have been talking that this is not like characteristic of Superman. Superman doesn't sound like this. Okay, first of all, anyone who says that, I'm not trying to diss them, but you've only watched the Superman movies. Now, Superman in the comics or even in the Justice League cartoons, when he wants to step up and say something, he says it with authority. He doesn't give you leeway to go, maybe, maybe not. And this was him just basically saying, look, for whatever reason, whether Batman did something, whether Lex, manipulated the whole situation, but he was like, look, in his mind, you've probably done some good, but you need to stop. This is way out of line. So next time, don't go. Batman is dead, and I'm gonna break your bones next time I see you. And
Well, here's the track list.
And then, exactly, and then Batman does this. I love the scene because he's like looking at me like, oh yeah, oh by the way, do you bleed? And Superman's like, bitch, please.
With the smirk. The smirk was funny.
It's like he's out, and Batman's like, I know you can hear me.
You
I'm
will.
make you bleed. It was good. It's really, really, really good. I mean, I liked the fact that, I like the fact they're showcasing this. Now, some people say, this is kind of reactionary, bringing it back from the last trailer. I enjoyed the second trailer. I'm fine.
I enjoyed them all. I have no gripes with any of the trailers we've seen so far. I like that little 30-second spot over the weekend, and then that full clip in its context on the. Granted, I don't watch Coco, but one day I released it online. I was like, yeah, this shit's awesome.
Yeah, no, it was cool though, because even I saw the whole clip with Coco where he was like, Snyder's like, I'm not explaining anything, just watch. I mean, there's nothing to explain here, right? And I mean, it's like I said, it's gonna be good. It's definitely gonna be good. I like the fact that we're gonna see tension, and the dialogue so far, just the lines so far have been on point. I mean, some people complain about Lex, but to me, Lex's lines have been great. Everything he said makes sense to what the surface layer and the bottom layer of all these characters are.
Dude, I look at Lex and I see him as Gene Hackman's Lex, playful and serious.
Yeah, I mean, but that's what Lex is, though. I mean, like, to a certain degree, like in the comic books, you've got so many types of Lexes, right? You've got the super businessman Lex, you've got the scientist Lex, you've got the Hackman Lex, which is a mixture of both, who's always very welcoming, and then when he wants to be evil, be evil. Now, what I think a lot of people want to see is they want to see that evil Lex come out. I want to see that in his private scene, whether he's with Mercy or somebody else like that, right? Where he's giving those orders. That's fine with me. In public, he can do whatever he wants because he makes sense. I mean, he's like, I guess in this universe, they consider him the richest. I thought usually I should think Bruce is the richest, but he and Bruce are the two richest people, right? And Bruce comes up as a rich old playboy, right? He's going to come off the young, playful, entrepreneur. You can't have two rich old dudes in there. It just doesn't make any sense for this.
Doesn't fit.
Yeah, it doesn't fit. So I like the fact that, he's playing that. I just want to see how it falls in the movie altogether. Josh Smith says, do you think they know each other is doing that scene? I don't think so. I really don't think it is. I think the way that scene plays out, starting off from the car, Batman wasn't trying to run him over. I don't think so. I think if you go back to the very first trailer, where Batman with the Batmobile and there's some guys shooting at it and then he shot at them, that's where that scene starts, I think. So Batman took out some bad guys, blew up their vehicles because one of the vehicles blew up. One guy was on a machine gun. Superman sees this, right? And flies in, and basically as Batman's taking the bend, he just lands and he's just waiting for him. He's like, oh shit. So he tries to swerve, and Superman basically kicks his car. And the reason why he kicks his car, I think, is because if Batman actually slammed into his car, it would have actually wrecked the whole thing. This is Superman being merciful by actually kicking it. So basically using counter force to push it away. Not necessarily because he wanted to kick the car, but because he was like, if he hits me, it's done. All right, doom. He kicks it off. He opens it up. He's like, dude, stop. You can't do this anymore. So that's how I think the scene plays. But anyway, we're definitely excited.
But here's the track list: A Beautiful Lie. Their War Here. The Red Capes Are Coming. Day of the Dead. Must There Be a Superman? New Rules. Do You Bleed? Problems Up Here.
Yeah.
Black and Blue. Tuesday. Is She With You? This Is My World. And then we got Men Are Still Good, the Batman suite. Blood of My Blood is a bonus track. Vigilante, another bonus track. May I Help You, Mr. Wayne is another bonus track. They Were Hunters, another bonus track. And the final bonus track is Fight Night.
All right, so A Sweet Lie is the beginning, I think. Every track in movie soundtrack, everything is in order in terms of where the scenes come into movies, usually anyway. But that Sweet Lie is whatever lie is told during the hearing in the courts. I mean, in Congress. I think that's where that's going to be played. Do You Bleed? Of course, we know where that scene is.
Can you see that?
See, damn. I'm gonna just have to buy the CD just for the look because I don't have a CD player.
Your Xbox, your PlayStation.
Yeah, that's right. Sorry, I forgot. But yeah, that looks interesting. Track.
Here's another jumping ahead a little bit, but someone takes flight in a future.
Martian Manhunter and Supergirl. All right, we'll get to that. But let's talk about the next trailer that dropped last night. This is a surprise out of nowhere. I was seeing reports that people went to go see 13 Hour and saw a trailer for Cloverfield sequel. I went nuts. Like, for me, I love the first Cloverfield. I didn't like the shaky cam too much because it just was a little bit too much to me. But I love the idea of the movie, and I love the movie. So what we got was 10 Cloverfield Lane, which is not a sequel to Cloverfield, according to J.J. Abrams, but it is in the same universe as a Cloverfield. He says it's a blood relative to Cloverfield. What we do know is that John Goodman, right?
Yeah.
John Goodman. Yeah. When I was doing the reaction, I said,
yes, I know.
It said
Roseanne's husband, or you could refer to him as Hound.
I'm sorry, man. Like, my brain goes for if I forget, I have to think of the fastest thing I can remember. I'm like Roseanne's husband. If I'm John Goodman, I ever watch that video, I'll be pissed. It's like, who is this fool?
I don't care for the movie.
Yeah. Did you ever watch the first Cloverfield?
Didn't care for it. I watched it, but didn't care for it.
Oh man, no. I think this would be interesting. I liked the first Cloverfield just because I wanted to see a monster movie where New York City, where I live, would be devastated. I mean, like, properly, where you just don't fire like missiles and from tanks, and you're just going to destroy this thing. So I liked it for that fact. I mean, I could see some people not liking it for the camera angles and you're not seeing everything you wanted to see. So I was hoping for was a sequel that showed the military side of things, right?
Well, we really don't know. All we got was a bunker scene.
Yeah, this scene is a bunker scene. This thing is all about in a bunker with John Goodman, two other characters, and one of the characters tries to escape the bunker, and then she gets to the outer door and she's like gasping. I'm thinking they dropped a nuke and there's some other stuff that's going on. Who knows? But it's coming out soon. You know what? I give J.J. Abrams props for the marketing, because once in a while it's nice to have surprises drop on you, just like out of the blue, because we're used to knowing when everything comes out. So the movie comes out on March 11th.
Dude, well, look, you get Cloverfield 10 Lane March 11th, and then March 18th you can go out and buy the double CD to Batman vs Superman.
and then watch it on 25th. Hopefully, I should be watching it early because I went to go see the IMAX
Oh,
trailer
you
screening.
lucky.
So I should be
So you're
getting
getting an early screening?
Yeah, I'm getting an early screening for that. So I mean, I'm waiting for them to email me and say, hey, here's the screen. Because if not, I'd be so pissed. I'd be like, ah. Any other news before we talk about oh yeah, Assassin's Creed wrapped up shooting. So
Yes, today.
so it looks, is that still coming out this year?
I'm not sure. I think so. I think it comes out later this year.
Okay, so Assassin's Creed is wrapped, which is December 21st, 2016. So
Really?
coming. Yeah.
They're gonna put that up against Rogue One.
No, Rogue One's summer.
Rogue One is December.
No, it's summer.
No, December.
Oh yeah, sorry, that's right. Next Star Wars is summer. My bad.
Next Star Wars will be in May.
Yeah, which is summer movie season.
I mean, granted, I don't think Rogue One will pull
No, it's not. It's not.
Force Awakens numbers, but
no, it's not going to pull Force Awakens numbers. Not even close. Michael B. Jordan says Creed sequel needs a real villain. We know that. That's for sure. Looks like
he said he was also still up for playing
Fantastic
Johnny Storm.
Yeah, I mean, I mean, like I said, to me, the actors, I liked all of them. Just whatever mess that they created is what I didn't like. So
that hawk posh at the end.
Yeah, so that's pretty much what
that's what made that movie suck.
No. To me, the movie sucked for two reasons: the hawk posh at the end, but also the amount of time the director. I blame the director too for this. He took forever to tell a story. He elongated that intro for literally an hour and a half. That's why
it was only an hour and a half.
No, but which is why the studio I can see why a studio would get scared, because they're like, how long does it take you to introduce characters? And then there's still no action sequence yet. I mean, especially if you're an exec who doesn't know the source material well, but you're going, I know this is an action movie. I know it's a comic book movie. We still have at least 2 action set pieces. And then you're just elongating this thing. I mean, come on, we need to do something here or not. So, I mean,
it is what it is.
Yeah, it is what it is. Yeah, I think that's pretty much it in terms of news. Nothing else, unless anyone wants to mention anything. I cannot remember.
I'm going to agree with the guys from Collider Video when they say, I might not go watch Deadpool because the Deadpool marketing campaign has been the shit.
Really?
Dude, you didn't see his latest poster?
Yeah.
Skull, poop, L.
You seen all the Valentine's Day love story ads?
It's great.
No, it's great. It's great marketing. Deadpool movie will never live up to the hype, and I'm fine with it because I know what a Deadpool movie is. It cannot live up to the hype. It will only live up as close to the hype as you think. That's just how you have to look at it. If you think it's going to be a good movie, it will be. It's just I don't think it's gonna. I don't think any movie can. As much as even take Star Wars for instance. I liked the movie. I enjoyed the movie. To me, it's my number 2 Star Wars movie out there. It's not the greatest Star Wars movie as far as I'm concerned. Some people will call it just because they've been starved, but if you really break it down, it really isn't. It's really good.
You're not watching Rebels, but that trailer that they released today, holy shit.
No, it definitely was a good trailer. I see now. I watched that and I was like, all right, fine. I need to watch. I need to definitely watch Rebels. The thing I don't like is this is what Lucas does well, and they always try to fill up gaps in side stories that not a lot of people will watch, and that pisses me off. Not because that I won't watch it, or just because in general it doesn't help. It's like Clone Wars. Like, remember I told you I need to go back and watch Clone Wars.
How far behind are you in Clone Wars?
I'm like 10 episodes in Clone Wars. That's pretty much it. So I'm way behind. The thing about Clone Wars is that Clone Wars fixes a lot of things in the prequels, right? It does.
Yeah, it does, because it explains.
Yeah, but
how the Empire gets money and all that other stuff.
But how am I supposed to, as a viewer, if you say this is what it is, and you don't necessarily even tell me there's a connection? It's not like Marvel and Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. where they clearly tell you, hey, try and watch this, right? You'll get some clues to what's happening here. they don't tell you in Clone Wars. I mean, they don't tell you to do that in Star Wars. So for me, those are the kind of things I don't like with Lucas, because they don't do a good job in telling a full story. Like when I was younger watching the original Star Wars, they don't tell a full story, but to me, I felt it was stories that use your imagination to fill in the gaps, which is fine.
Kind of what you're doing now between Return of the Jedi and The Force Awakens.
Yeah.
Because I guarantee you there's a lot of people out there not reading the books.
No, there's a whole bunch. I mean, a lot of people don't. I mean, look, the whole world knows about Star Wars, but the amount of people who read Star Wars books, that's small.
But yet those books give you connections to the Battle of Jakku, why you see that Star Destroyer on that planet.
Mm-hmm.
It explains. We're still waiting to see the explanation of Poe being there.
Yeah, I mean, although I'm hearing that Poe's revelation might come in the third movie, which I'm like, if you better not, if she is Luke's daughter and you do not explain it in the first 10 minutes of that movie, of the sequel, then forget it. I will hate the movie at that point.
Yeah, that's one thing, because from the guys at Collider Video, they do a show called Jedi Council, and they were like, half of them were saying she'll probably be revealed in the third movie. The other half were saying it needs to be done in the second.
It needs to be done at the very beginning of the second.
You need to keep your viewers there, because honestly, everybody at the end of that movie was like, what the fuck?
Yeah. I mean, if they stretch it out, I would just be pissed. And the problem is they're going to stretch it out, and I don't think they will live up to the hype that they've already created from this movie. Granted, this movie is actually not going to break Avatar's record from the way it's pacing now.
No,
it's not. It
but
was too
at
front-loaded.
At the same time, Avatar was in theaters for 8 months.
Yeah, true, but it's also been too front-loaded, and it also didn't have a big opening in China, which they feared. Big, but not as big as some other movies.
But it still has to do Japan.
Yeah, but China's the number 2 market in the world now.
Yeah, but Japan is gonna rock, because Japan loves them some Star Wars.
And it will rock. But again, China numbers. If it opened like Fast and Furious 7 in China, it probably would have actually caught up to Avatar, because Fast and Furious opened 100 and something million in China.
Yeah.
Compared to
I read
53?
something today, not to get off topic, but Universal does not need to do this. They do not need to make an Eva Mendes spin-off movie for Fast and Furious. Just bring her in part 8 and keep it moving.
Eva Mendes was in part 2.
Yeah, and at the end of part 4 with Hobbs, she showed him the picture of Letty.
Yeah.
But let's be real. She does not need her own goddamn movie unless she's teaming up with Hobbs.
No, of course. I mean, if you do team up with Hobbs, it's fine. I mean,
then I'll agree.
Yeah.
But her by herself?
No, nobody's gonna watch it. I mean, Eva Mendes is an actress who she's okay. Okay, that's how I put it. You remember the movie Hitch? Will Smith.
Yeah,
Will Smith had the best chemistry with who? Paul Blart, the Mall Cop. What is his name again? Kevin
James.
Kevin James. They had great chemistry together. Great chemistry. But the person who he was chasing, I was like, why do you love this girl? Because I don't feel anything for you at all. I mean, like, I don't feel where that love is coming from. But he and Kevin James, I was like, that's cool. You know, like that. I could see that relationship building there. So, and I just don't think she's that good to carry a movie on her own at all. But
yes. So like if they do it where it's a spinoff with her and Hobbs going after Jason Statham's character, I'm cool.
Oh, it could be somebody else. Doesn't matter. But as long as it's Hobbs, it's fine.
You know, just not her by herself, because it ain't gonna work.
Yeah, I mean, as long as it's Hobbs, it's fine. That's the way it is.
But now back to Star Wars. Did you read that one little article as far as Maz Kanata using the Force?
Yeah, I was hoping. See, I thought she in the movie, right? I thought she would have some kind of Force abilities, and then they cut it out. I can see why they cut it out, but I'd like to see her do it anyway.
But it wasn't in the book neither.
No, it wasn't in the book, which is, I mean, I understand it's fine. Remember, the new canon is a hodgepodge of some of the book and not, you know, it's like, it's a little mixture.
Because I'm listening to the novelization of the movie, and I'm already past that part where, you know, her castle got attacked.
Hmm.
They didn't explain none of that. They basically left it the same way from the movie and the book. So that scene would have been badass.
Yeah, it would have been. And I think her character fit that. Just the way she was talking. It seemed like she was also a little bit older, like maybe 100 and something, something like that.
She's been
So,
around for 1,000 years.
oh, she's older than Yoda. Man, my bad.
I think she was something with Yoda.
Oh, my. Oh, ooh. Do we see?
They kind of look alike.
I mean, what? Do they have like green, yellow, orange babies going around? I mean, I don't know.
Whatever color that makes.
Well, let's move on. Anything else before we actually move on to the TV show of the week, which is basically Supergirl getting prime time? Oh, before that, Heroes has ended, right? Pretty much.
Next week's the last episode.
Next week's the last episode of Heroes.
Oh, sorry. I've been enjoying The Expanse more than Heroes.
Yeah. So because Heroes is ending, we will add Expanse into it. I just started watching Expanse myself. Expanse is a sci-fi show on Sci-Fi Network. But before we could talk about Expanse and go to Supergirl and all that, Heroes,
got canceled.
it's just not. The production value was very poor. Let's put it that way. A lot of the scenes and camera angle cuts. I know the special effects were on a low budget level, which is fine, but some of the camera angles, and there are certain scenes, something's happening really intense. There's no background music, and I'm going like, where's the emotional effect here? It just wasn't that.
They couldn't afford it in the budget.
Come on, you can use. There's so much free music out there you can use. It's not like you didn't have to. I mean, Two Steps from Hell has a whole catalog you can use.
Yeah, like I said, I've been watching The Expanse. I've been watching this one show on MTV called the Shannara Chronicles, which is actually pretty good.
Is it better? Because I was talking to Sam about. Sam's like, man, that book was terrible. He didn't like the book, so he was just like, I might want to check it out.
I didn't read the book, but I'm liking the show.
Okay. Yeah, but I think we're gonna add Expanse next week and take out Heroes.
Dude, next week we got all our shows are back. Well,
yeah, I know, but I'm just saying, like, since we're dropping one show and one show is going off,
but that show could have been replaced with Legends of Tomorrow.
Oh yeah, sure. Legends of Tomorrow is good too. I think we still will add Expanse. Expanse is interesting. I'm only 2 episodes in, and I like the world they built. I like that Earth is one world, Mars is a military power, and the only reason why Mars isn't attacking Earth is because probably Earth has nukes or something that they can point at them or whatever the case may be. And
it's fun.
Yeah, it's just a fun show. This is Sci-Fi Channel going back to what made it great during the Battlestar Galactica era, where it was grounded in some form of its own reality in the sci-fi world. Shit can happen, but there were rules. And, for a long time, Sci-Fi Channel will be going through lots of crappy shows in general, but, that's that.
So, and I wasn't going to give this show a chance because of sci-fi shit that they've been putting out. But then I was like, you know what? Let me check it out. And I was like, I'm hooked. I want more.
It's definitely a good show. Definitely a good show. Okay, let's see. Any comments here? Notice me. That's Panda Vengeance. Yes, we notice you. Keep dreaming. Yeah, here's a shout out to you if you're still here. It says it's out. And then Mikey says, don't watch Rebels. Well, I mean, I think Rebels is something we should definitely check out, just because if you enjoy the Star Wars universe, this is the way
you'll enjoy this.
Yeah,
don't get me wrong.
Is going to fill
Season 1, it was only 13 episodes, so the first episode was really good, but then I believe 2, 3, 4 were a little,
shaky,
slow, but then it starts to pick up because 13 episodes, they had to move the story along. And then season 2 starts off with the bad motherfucker. Darth Vader comes to kick ass.
All right. Cool. Definitely check it out. Let's move on to Supergirl this week. What did you think of this episode?
I liked it.
Yeah, I liked the episode too. I think it's gotten better. There's some things I didn't, and it's not the acting's improved. Supergirl, it seems like also she's finally even just the actress is owning up to the role a little bit more. So you don't get because you can notice her angst a little bit. Now you can feel like she's getting into the role, whether it's just the acting or maybe just the way it was written. But what always throws me off of Supergirl is like the end of the episode where a bunch of Kryptonians show up, and they're about to attack, and then her aunt's like, no, don't. And I'm going, you do have a cousin as backup, and see that's
He's
the
only good. He's only good for IMing.
Yeah, exactly. No, see, I know I like the I am thing, right? I like it when it was she had her own villains to deal with, right? And Clark's like, hey, I saw you did this, good job, blah blah blah, because she's only dealing with one villain, right? And that's her own villain, and he's not going to impose. I understand that fact. Like, look, you got to learn your own thing. I won't step your boundaries, but you need help. But when you are facing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, about 10 Kryptonians, 10. I mean, how about when you tell your cousin, like, hey, cuz there are about like 10 Kryptonians secretly hiding in National City here. Can I get some help? I mean, right?
He's too busy on the other side of the coast.
Really?
Hey, National City's LA.
I know National City's LA, but no, Coast City's LA. No, Coast City's San Diego. Oh,
National City's LA.
National City's LA. Coast City is Coast City where what's the name? Green Lantern is LA. And then Star City. Where's Star City?
Canada.
Where's Flash again? What city's the Flash?
In Canada as well.
No. He's close to where Hal Jordan is because they're always hanging out. And it doesn't matter. Flash can run there quickly. So
yeah, but you know what's exciting news?
What?
That Kevin Smith is going to direct an episode of The Flash.
Oh yes. Kevin Smith doing an episode of The Flash would be interesting, very interesting. But before we go into other topics, let's just finish up Supergirl. But yeah, it was good. And I like now that Martian Manhunter looks like he's going to have more role in this. I just want them to cut down the villain size. Like, they need to get rid of a bunch of those Kryptonians. I wish that army that she had was her husband, her, maybe one other Kryptonian, and a bunch of other people from that Fort Ross, right? Different races. So it didn't feel. So
that would have been a little more interesting.
Yeah, so it didn't feel like you have 15 or 10 Kryptonians floating out in the air, and I'm like, really? 10 Superman-sized individuals out there, and just you? Yeah, sure. Tell me this is going to work.
Well, they also got the Manhunter.
Yeah, I mean, true. You want to change. I mean, I get why.
You need to change.
He's like, I don't want to break my cover, but I understand that part. And I like the fact that she's like, you should have told me. And they're like, no, you can't have to keep a secret. You keep telling everybody you're a secret in the first place. So it doesn't matter. Although I do like they're making the Superman show. Max Lord is becoming her Lex, which is needed. It's just the way you have to do it anyway.
Well, you know who's coming at the end of that episode?
I can't remember what character.
Bizarro.
Really?
Max Lord is creating a Supergirl Bizarro.
Oh yeah, that's true. Yeah, I forgot Bizarro is coming.
And then episode 11 is bringing the White Manhunter.
Oh, that's gonna be good. That should be good because that guy's bastard.
But he's coming episode 11. It kind of pissed me off was that they came back the week that they did, and then to take the following Monday off for the national championship. For that, you should have just waited a flipping week and just came back this week.
Yeah, I know.
I mean, granted, it was pointless. You come back a week, then you take a week off. What the hell?
It's the way it is. But anyway, moving on to the other shows. Flash is Kevin Smith directing is cool. Arrow would be nice to see what happens when that comes back with whoever supposedly.
Well, they kind of ruined that.
Why?
They kind of took the element of surprise out.
I haven't seen the promos or anything.
It's not anything to do with the promos. There was a set leak photo of Felicity chilling on set in regular doohickey, like at a computer.
It might be a flashback.
Man, bullshit.
I know. I mean, yeah, that's what happens with leaks and all that kind of stuff, though. But yeah, I mean, I guess that's pretty much it. Unless there's anything else we want to discuss about comic book wise, I can't think of anything.
I mean, we had that awesome trailer for the 100 this past week.
Yes.
Looks like Clark and Lex are going to get it on.
Okay. Oh yeah, Chris Pine talked about Wonder Woman.
Set
how.
in World War I.
So yeah, I mean, yeah, it's different. I'm glad no, it's just not just World War II. It's easy. World War II is very easy. There's always Nazis, and World War One was a little bit more complicated war,
Well, I
and
think
it was much grimier too, though.
you go World War I, so you don't get that tagline. Well, Marvel did World War II with Captain America,
Yeah, true.
and then you got the Russo brothers saying that there's going to be 67 characters in Infinity War,
And people are complaining about Batman v Superman. Pff, go away, go away.
and that Jessica Jones had 4.8 million views per episode,
That's good.
and it still hasn't got picked up for a second season.
And that's from NBC putting that out. I like that though, because NBC. See, what I'm hoping for is when the NBC exec put out those numbers for Netflix, because he was highlighting the fact that Netflix is doing very well in retention in terms of shows. I started watching. We watched we watched Daredevil, we watched Jessica Jones. We're definitely gonna watch Luke Cage, right? And then I gone into Marco Polo, watched that too.
Finished it?
I finished it, man. Come on, 100 eyes, baby, 100 eyes. I liked it. I liked it. I liked the fact that Marco Polo was not the Marco Polo that I thought it was going to be. He wasn't the liar. He almost had to tell the truth. He wasn't a liar really in the first place, but he was a sweet talker more than anything else.
I liked it. I'm looking forward to season 2.
Yeah.
Let me see. I watched that 100 Eye special. That was good.
Oh yeah, that was really good. And what do you call it again? But the thing about Netflix is they're getting all these good shows, not because they're getting good shows, because they're making good shows, and that's what network TV has to do. Because if you notice in the last year, I haven't watched Mr. Robot yet. Mr. Robot, everybody's talking about how good it is. And then there's a new show from the guys from Lost, who also
the Colony.
They call them, but some of the people I haven't watched. Have you watched it yet?
I was going to, but then I heard it's kind of like what's that show that was on network television? Aliens, some shit like that.
Oh, V?
Yeah, V. So
no. It's not even close. I mean, just from the clips I've seen, it's not even close. I think there's something darker, because with this one, they don't show you no one has seen the aliens, or almost no one has. So from the clip I watched, he gets captured because he's trying to get his son, and no one has seen who the hell has occupied the planet. And it's to me, there's more intrigue, and it's still some of the same guys who did Mr. Robot. So I'm like, okay, if Mr. Robot was that good, I think this will also be good enough. But the thing is that
also one of the creators from Lost.
Yeah, he's the head guy for the show, the creator from Lost. But to me, it shows that network TV needs to step up its game. They need to stop making half-ass shows. Like, if you're going to do a comic book show, do it right. I know NBC is going to be, not NBC, NBC is going to be doing the DC spin-off show called Powerless, I think.
Yeah.
About the insurance company. And they say they're going to feature a DC super. I think it's going to be Booster Gold or Blue Beetle, one of those two in there. Because those guys are funny enough, and their powers are all tech-based anyway. So they don't have to necessarily use their powers, It's not like Superman showing up and then hitting the button and destroying half a wall or something. But I mean, if you're going to spend time doing a show, do it well, I think. So
Netflix, I honestly love the Netflix motto. Give me my 13 episodes and let me watch them.
I mean, I enjoy it too. I don't mind. See, but the thing is that we enjoy that too, but we also watch Flash and Arrow. And yeah, we can gripe about it, but we still love the shows. The main thing is, as long as you give us a good show, we will watch.
Dude, after last year's debacle with Arrow, I was like, they need to cut it down to 13 episodes, 16 tops, because all these, honestly, between Flash, Arrow, all these fillers, they need to take a different approach going forward.
Yeah, I agree. I think CW, if they really wanted to spice things up, they should do 16. They should do 16 episodes per season, and then stagger it out, especially if they're going to add more DC shows. So what they should do is Flash and Arrow always run at the same time. And then DC Legends of Tomorrow runs differently. and you can start. And you know, they were talking about they want to bring Vex in as a show, right? That's cool. Run that staggered in between or next to something. So you just have like Netflix. Also, you have 16 episodes just rotating throughout the year, and you're good.
It'll work.
You know,
It really will work. 'Cause, I mean, I started watching Shades of Blue.
wait, how many episodes were of the 100? Just 13, right?
Season 1 was 100. Season 2, I think, went to 16 or 18. I can't remember. But now this season is going back to its original formula.
13.
Where 13, I think, 13 to 16, and boom.
Yeah, that's what they need to see. Like, if you already started with a show like the 100, you've kept it because you keep it tight enough where there was there really almost was no. There was some slower episodes.
There was no fillers.
There was no filler, but there were slower episodes just because you don't want to spend too much on a budget and things like that. But you use that to build more story and character. This is how you need to do it. Like I said, stations like CW, I know the networks will not do it. So if you're a network, you need to spend time on your show. Fine. If you're not going to break it down, then drop me a show that you go like, oh, wow, okay. Like, for instance, what's that FBI show on NBC?
NCIS?
No, the new one about
The Blacklist?
not Blacklist. God damn,
That's an awesome show.
Okay, Blacklist is a good show, right?
I don't mind that one being 22.
Yeah, but because it's a good show. That's the thing. You just need to keep doing stuff like that so that people can watch and go, okay, I like the show. I'm going to watch it. Stations like CW, FX, and the rest of that, cut it down to 16, right? 16.
Dude, that's what I liked about FX. When they had Sons of Anarchy on, Sons of Anarchy only had one season where they did 14 episodes. But it stayed to 13. And right now I'm going through withdrawal because I missed that show.
Yeah. So, I mean, I agree with you. That's what they all need to do. Keep it nice and tight. Keep it short. Agency Shield will benefit from that too.
That's a big show that would benefit because, you know, they cut their story down. Granted, the first half of this season was great. The season finale was a little shitty, but it doesn't degrade the whole first half.
Yeah.
And then you got to wait until March before it comes back.
Yeah,
which
I hear you.
Stupid.
Same thing with all these shows. Supergirl, 16. I know this season they're going to go full because they want to go full. But what they should do is realize that you go full, fine, this season, so it stays in people's minds. Next season, do a nice, tight 16 episodes, and boom, done. And then you continue. And maybe from there, if you have new characters that are doing well, maybe you can use that to open up a different show if you want to, or whatever the case may be. But keep it nice and tight. I know they're teasing Flash crossover. They should, because that just means that the Flash only gets bigger and bigger because Flash running across from CW into CBS into the big screen. I mean, that would be great.
It just makes it better. I mean, the producers of that show said most likely next season's villain will be Gorilla Grodd. Thank God, because I can't deal with another goddamn speedster as a villain.
I mean, yeah, true.
Mix it up.
I know it mix it up, but I mean, for this one, I mean, they had to just because they opened up that portal, which is fine. Deal with Zoom, but I think they should just go back to the Zoom story because they've kind of lost their way a little bit. With different like almost like side quest stories. Go back to the Zoom story and to exactly why. Let us find out more about Zoom, less about Barry. We already know about Barry.
Well, see, here's the thing. Let me see. They did what, 10 for the first run, I believe.
Yeah.
So we've got 12 coming up, and already we're getting reverse flashback. There's going to be another episode with King Shark. And if they're teasing Gorilla Grodd to be the villain for next season, I'm pretty sure we're going back to Earth 2 just to see Gorilla Grodd.
Oh yeah, but that'll be brief though. I don't think that'll be.
So I agree. They need to do some more with Zoom because I want to know who the hell he is.
Yeah, exactly. Give us more backstory. Like, give us people who fought Zoom, and they should give us more about why. Like what happened with Zoom and all that kind of way, especially when Zoom was slower, not like when he was super fast. So you get like a different dimension, maybe another speedster, maybe another Flash that he sucked his powers out, but he's not dead. And the way he came from he's like, I managed to come to Earth 2 and then I found my way to Earth 1. And man, this is what this guy was. This is a hint of who he is. Something like that to move the story along. I think that would help.
Yeah, I mean, because the one theory was, oh, it's Barry Allen from Earth 2. Well, that's not going to happen because he's hanging out with fucking with Caitlin Snow as a Killer Frost in a scene, so he ain't Zoom.
Yeah, yeah. Who knows? All right. I guess that's it this week. Not much in terms of news. We know we've talked about so many different things. Definitely catch us next week, next Friday, 7 p.m. We'll be doing the show. If you can check out Mr. Lou Rod, he's in. I was going to say his Instagram. His Twitter is at Mr_Rod_. So definitely follow him there. And also check us out at Board at Work on Twitter, as well as also subscribe to the channel. And catch us tomorrow on the weekly episode 2 of season 3. All right, guys, thank you very much. And always enjoy your entertainment.